Hello, friends. A little bit ago, I opened a post asking for someone to send me their base so I could fix it up if they were having some troubles with it. And Damien K sent me his base, and we went on a long journey of fixing it up. This is the before and after of what it looked like when I started versus what it looked like when I ended. I'll post some stats and stuff like that along the way too. So yeah, let's check it out. Alright, now that we have completed Damien K's base, I'll just go through a few key areas and big focal points that I wanted to focus on. Talk about how we turn the tide and salvage this base into something that, Damien, you could pick back up, get to space, breach the temporal tear, complete the game. So let's get it done. So what I'm going to be doing is just kind of roaming around the base a little bit as I see fit, and I'll just put little like picture-in-picture stuff over here just to show what things looked like before I started this run, so you can kind of see the difference. I know I did that like corny montage right before, but this is most what the video is going to be. So first of all, the food. This area I thought was really important because there were a lot of different food sources all around the map, and I'll kind of show what this area looked like before. So yeah, something like this, just like not enough production, but mostly just too varied. So that was kind of a big deal. I'm also going to talk a little bit about the ranching area, specifically hatch ranching. So if you take a look at the old one, just barely any hatch ranching happening here. We got a lot better infrastructure too, just to make sure that our hatches are replenished, and this just allowed us to get a lot more coal, kind of stabilize our power over time. So once we kind of got those under control, the next issue was really trying to solve our power situation. So it kind of showed it a little bit in the video already, but here's what it used to look like in the older base. We basically just added a lot more coal generators. We maintained roughly the same amount of hydrogen generators. Oxygen setup's pretty much the same, so I didn't really touch that. Also, a bunch of natural gas generators here as well. This map has a lot of natural gas that I was able to capture. So this area up here, I did rip it out. This is what it looked like before, but I did rip out a lot of this stuff here and kind of moved it back over, or sorry, started sending all my natural gas kind of back to the center. There was also another natural gas area right here, and then a third one down on the right that was also untapped. So yeah, just really increased the amount of natural gas production, which made it so that I didn't really need to get on petroleum, so I just kind of left that open-ended a little bit. The cooling situation, let's talk about that. So this is still here. I'll show down on the bottom right. Looks exactly the same. This is also still here. I did not, well, I guess no. I kind of fixed part of it. This is what it looked like before. I kind of got some water ready to flood this area, so let's just do this actually. So if I delete this tile, it's just going to flood this in here. So just in case you get yourself in the situation and you need to fix it, you can't just get a bunch of water, flood it in there, and oh, thanks. We just deconstruct it halfway and run away. So you can kind of put a big pool of water. What is everyone doing? They're like, hey, I'll do this, and they just walk away. All right, thank you, Bonnie. Everybody else is just like, yeah, whatever. All right, anyway. So yeah, if you have a problem like this, you can just kind of flood it with water. It will put out a little bit of steam, but not nearly as much as that was there before. So that's one way you kind of crack this open. This didn't work out perfectly, but it's better than nothing. It's better than opening this up raw. So we're down to like 30 kilograms of steam per tile versus like, I don't even know what this was at before, like 500, something like that. So it helps out a little bit. We could have also sealed this room off. There's probably a better way I could have done that. I don't know. Whatever. Kind of worked. Yeah, okay. Anyway, so this area kind of looks pretty much the same. And what was here before was kind of like an attempt to get all this stuff going, but not really a lot of like clarity on what was supposed to happen there. We're just going to get duplicant scalding from now on, so I guess we'll just deal with that. But the whole point here is getting a new cooling setup, really turn the tides, because, and I'll just show the picture-in-picture once again, this was basically the only cooling that was going on in the base right now, which was okay, but it just was not strong enough to push all the things that we needed to push, so this is what it looks like now. Oh, let me get rid of my UI so it looks so much more fancy. Yeah, I also got rid of a lot of the random ranching areas. There were a lot of ranching areas that kind of just weren't doing much. I did try to salvage some of these slicksters, only because I felt kind of bad for getting rid of everything, so there are still some of these around if you want to play around with them. But the rest of the ranching was just kind of too dispersed. There are still a bunch of these critters left, I just stopped paying attention to them, but they're still alive, so those are all good. And the most important of all, by the way, is I know you got a big crush on Liara, and this is the new bedroom that I gave for her. This is the old one in the picture-in-picture, so you can see she's so much more happy. So if you come back to this base, she's probably going to love you forever. And probably give you like 10,000 gifts of your choosing. Probably like 10,000 packets of oatmeal or something like that. She's pretty into oatmeal from what I hear. So yeah, not a whole lot of change outside of that, honestly. Just kind of preserving stuff. We've tried to get into these ice biomes and grab some of this natural sleetweed as much as possible, which is why our food is so hilariously high. And that was a huge turning point, getting your food onto something more sustainable, these berry sludge, with just the regular bristleberries and the sleetweed. So much less dupe time expended. Kind of opened up this area too a little bit as well. And also turning off our setup that was sending regolith in and systematically exterminating all of our shove voles, which this is what it used to look like in this area. Just got rid of all these shove voles because we just weren't ready to ranch them, and the regolith was just way more heat than it was worth. So just kind of turned that off. I also just added a quick transit tube here, as you can see, just to help get from the bottom to the top of the base. This was mostly helpful when I was deconstructing this area and running pipes and all that kind of stuff, so if you want to keep going with that, that'd be probably pretty helpful in the long term. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Thanks for joining me on this, and if you watched the whole series, then thank you for watching through that. I hope you liked it. Let me know what you thought. If you haven't watched the series, I have a whole series where I rebuild this base from the ground up. Well, I guess from the state that Damien gave it to me at. So yeah, we kind of go through the whole thing. We talk about the thought processes, what we want to attack. I guess that sounded bad. What we want to tackle in terms of tasks. I guess tackle and attack are kind of similar. Anyway, whatever, this is not going well. If you want to send me your base, I'm just going to link a form down in the description so you can send it over to me. I'll try to do this series more. It is a little bit of work, but this was a lot of fun to do, so I'd like to do more of these. So yeah, thanks for watching. Thanks for sending your bases, everybody that did. Just because you haven't seen your base yet doesn't mean that I'm not going to get to it at some point, but I do have a lot of people sending them in, which I really appreciate. We just want to get kind of the bases that are going to teach us the most and have a lot of fun stuff to talk about, like the obvious graveyard joke that I put in there that did not change. This area just looked exactly the same. That's what I thought was funny. But anyway, yeah, Liara's very happy. Here she goes to sleep. Look at that. Very peaceful. And I guess I'll just leave you with that. Thanks for watching, everybody. I appreciate it. Have a great day or night or afternoon or whatever time it is. Go to bed if you're up too late. Okay, bye.